So you just completed 312 and you ended up with this table right here. Area model, same that we looked at on Thursday and Friday. What we're going to do right now is we're going to make the jump to a tree diagram. And it's really, really simple. All the tree diagram does is deal in branches instead of boxes. So I'm going to take the same information, same scenario, and I'm going to turn it into a tree diagram. So here we go. I have to start off and I have to be able to make a choice. And that choice is going to be the outcomes of spinner 1. And when I spin spinner 1, I have 3 choices. I can spin an I can spin a U, or I can spin an A. After spinner 1, I also have spinner 2. And when I spin spinner 2, I either get a T or an F. So I goes to T or I goes to F. That also means U goes to T or U goes to F. And finally, A goes to T or A goes to F. When it's all said and done, this information, tree diagram right here, has the same information. If I wanted to know the sample space, I merely need to trace my lines. I could go IT, and I would have a possible sample space of IT, IF, UT, UF, AT, or AF. So I get the same 6 outcomes for my sample space. Now you might be looking at this and saying, okay, sorry, I'm kind of in and out for the Zoom. My apologies. You may be looking at this and be like, this is great, but at least with the area model, we had all our probabilities on it. And you would be correct. But there is a strategy for getting all those area models on this as well. All we do is write them on the legs. So for example, I, U, and A. For I had a 3/6 chance. For U, I had a 1/6 chance. And for A, I had a 2/6 chance. True was 1/4, and it was always 1/4. And F was 3/4, and it was always 3/4. So all you do is write the probabilities on each of those branches, and if you wanted to figure out the chance of a particular element of your sample space, you simply need to multiply the branches. So 3/6 times 1/4 would be 3/24. 3/6 times 3/4 would be 9/24, and so on. 1/6 times 1/4 would be 1/24. 1/6 here would be 3/24. 3/6 times 1/4 would be 3/24. And then finally, 2 times 3 would be 6/24. If you haven't, sorry, 2 times 1 is 2. Hey yo, I'm only a math teacher that can't multiply 1 times 2. A little more embarrassing than normal. Anywho, and we have all the same information that we always have. At the end of the day, a tree diagram and an area model are just 2 ways to represent the same information. Here's the advantage. A tree diagram is the only one you can use when you have more than 2 events. Okay, I want you to be very careful. Tree diagram is the only one you can use if you have more than 2 events. Because here's what I want you to consider. Suppose, for example, we had 3 spinners. Spinner 1, spinner 2, and if we want to go third, we got to come up. That's a challenge. Or figure out some way to list all the options on one side, which is also confusing. But if we had 3 spinners, spinner 1, split them up, spinner 2, split them up, spinner 3, I could split it up a 3rd time. It's going to get tight and it's going to get messy, but it's doable. So just recognize that detail. If you have 3 or more events, you have to use a tree diagram. If you have 2 events, it's your choice. Area model, tree diagram, use whichever one you prefer. For this lesson, we're going to be exploring tree diagrams specifically, but after today, If it is two options, two events, I will let you pick. I will never force you to make one over the other unless the problem forces you to make a particular model.